Okay, it's live. Hi, everyone. It's Crystalline here. And let's see, I need to just do one more technological thing. Oh, you know what I did not do? Okay, if anybody wants the Zoom link, Rebecca, will you put the Zoom link into the section, into comments for me, please, just in case anybody wants to join me on Zoom. If that's easier for you, let's see. I kind of just, I'm having a brain fart right now, so excuse me. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. I think I'm ready to go. All right, so hi everyone, it's Crystalline here, and we're doing the full moon in Libra ritual today. I am quite excited because, it's the new astrological year, and that means that we're kind of starting over right now. And the sun is in Aries, and the full moon obviously is in Libra, or it's moving into Libra. Rebecca will get the dates for us. Will you please, Rebecca, and just throw them in the Facebook group for me? But what does all of this mean? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. But here's the reason why I'm excited, because you all know how in America the new year is January 1st, and that's kind of like your chance to start over, right? Well, then there's Chinese New Year, which usually happens either at the end of January or the beginning of February. So if you weren't quite ready to start with January 1st, or maybe you started at January 1st and then you slipped up, well, then you have Chinese New Year to give you an opportunity to start again. Yeah, well, if that didn't work for you, there's the astrological new year, which starts in when the sun moves into Aries, which it did on March 21st, okay? So this is exciting for me because I needed all of those redos, right? So I started an exercise routine in January. Didn't work. I tried to hit it with the new moon, didn't work. And now we have this shift where the sun is in Aries, and this is a great time to start working on something new, okay? So let's talk about the sun and moon placement. So the sun is in the constellation of Aries. So it's moving through Aries, and it's going to be there for 30 days. Now, the sun is masculine. It represents your outer authority, so how you show up in the world. So when the sun goes into an astrological sign, everybody in the entire world becomes that sign. So while the sun is in Aries, we are all a little bit Aries. Now, for people like you and me, this could be really quite challenging, because I'm thinking that you're kind of like I am, meaning you're kind of sensitive and you kind of do really well in the realm of emotions, feelings, woo-woo, and like stuff where you kind of have to feel your way using your intuition. While Aries is a very intuitive sign, so when the sun is in Aries, our intuition is heightened. Y'all, Aries is not a sensitive sign. It is not empathic. It is not feeling its feels. It is not kind of laid back, okay? So for those of you all who maybe are masculine signs and you all kind of go forward, you're very comfortable in the masculine energy, you could be doing really well right now. But if you're like me, where you're kind of like, I'm sensitive, I need to feel my feels, and I feel a little cut off from my emotions, I feel I don't feel all that calm when I go to do my meditations. I don't feel all that clear when I go to communicate with my spirit guides, like that communication is not flowing like it normally should be flowing. Yeah, that might be because Aries is in the house. So let me pause right here and let me check in with who's with me. Let me see how you all are doing today. If you're watching live, please in the comments type #live. And if you're watching the replay, please type #replay. Sorry, #live. Here we go. I lost. Here we go. Now I see you. Okay, I can see you. I've got Rebecca there. Hey, Larissa, you were able to join me today. This is so cool. I'm glad. Welcome. Danica is here, and Monica. Hey, Monica, and oh my God, Buddha. Hi, Buddha. It's good to see you all. Thanks so much for joining. So yeah, I got some very sensitive people on this call today, so I know that you all understand what I'm saying. So right now, it's very normal to be feeling a little bit cut off from our feeling nature. The good news is that we have this full moon. Oh, before I even talk about the full moon, not only what did the sun move into Aries, but the moon, our beloved feminine ally, started off in Aries, like on the very first day that the sun moved into Aries, the moon was right there with him. So when the moon is new, the moon is acting a little bit like a man. She's kind of focused outwardly. She's kind of like about making plans. There's a little bit of logic and order and structure. Don't get me wrong, she's still feminine, but she's got a very strong masculine pull. And y'all, this is actually more important than even I realized, because believe it or not, this year we're going to have 2 new moons in Aries. One happened last week, and then it happened last week, and another one's going to come around in 2 weeks. That one's also going to be in Aries. So this Aries information is really being emphasized right now. And I hope that you're enjoying it because it's here and it's strong. But let's talk about why it's strong. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to get into the moon and the full moon in Libra, which is why we're here. I'm going to get to that in a few moments, but I want to take this opportunity to kind of prepare you so that you know how to best use the next, how many more days are left in this, this moon, in this sun transit? We have another 3 weeks. We have another 21 days. So this is going to be a really great time to work on those Aries qualities. So Aries rules the first house of the zodiac. That is our earthly self. So last month we had the sun transiting Pisces, and Pisces, as you'll recall from our last session, or the session before last, Pisces is the sign that actually should be considered the first of the zodiac, because it's where all the spiritual stuff begins. So Pisces is the sign of the unconscious mind, the conscious mind, your past lives, your karma. It's the internal space, deep intuition, and most importantly are the things I just said, like the subconscious self, okay? So that is all the stuff that kind of makes you who you are and really talks about the experience you're going to have when you're born into the world, right? So that's why I and other astrologers say that Pisces is like really the first house, okay? But the way they do it as a 12th house. So it's the last house. So that's why it's the end of the astrological year and Aries is the beginning. So here we are at the beginning of this astrological year. We've just come out of doing all this deep subconscious, unconscious work, connection to God, connection to source, connection to our spirit guides, looking at our karma, clearing up all the stuff that needed to be cleared up. okay? And now we're being reborn into springtime. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, it's Aries, and it rules our mind, our personality, and our body. So it's our physical self. So this is a great time for you to be thinking about making improvements to your physical body. It's a great time to start a diet, but it's an even better time to start an exercise program. Aries is ruled by Mars, which is the war maker. It's a very masculine sign and a very masculine planet. The energy is outward, so it's about creating, looking at what you want to create in the material world and taking action. All right. So I know I'm giving you a lot of information, but I think you get it. If you all have any questions, please type in your questions as we go. And can you all please let me know what your astrological signs are in the comments? Just drop in whatever your astrological sign is. I see that Shamika has joined us. Hey, Shamika, and Monica is here. Nina is here. Hi, darling. Danica says, how can you read more on this? I'm so very interested. Good question, darling. So there are so many astrological resources out there. I particularly love to get the monthly horoscope from astrologyzone.com. That's my own personal monthly horoscope. So if you want to learn more about your personal horoscope, I recommend using astrologyzone.com. That's Susan Miller's site. And if you want to just know kind of more about what's going on with the planets, I love Cafe Astrology. If you like a little bit more highbrow astrology, then you can try Henry Seltzer. There are so many out there. I mean, even the Astro Twins, they write for like Glamour, I think. They do great astrology readings. So there are so many resources out there. And also, you guys, when I do these every Friday, right? As Rebecca, I think Rebecca, did you put the date in there for us of the full moon? Honey, it's the full moon in Libra, not the new moon. April 6th is the full moon. Okay, so I'm way ahead. So we are way ahead for the full moon, by the way. So let me throw that out there to you. Our full moon is actually going to be on, I think that's got to be Wednesday or Thursday of next week. I don't have a calendar handy. Wait, yes, I do. Hold on. Let me tell you exactly what date that's going to be. April 6th is Thursday. So look, the full moon in Libra rises on Thursday, okay? And that means you are going to start feeling more emotional connection, more sensitivity, more tears, more weepiness, more anger, more feeling. You're going to feel more feels starting around April 3rd, because usually, we start noticing the moon before the moon is full, right? We start glancing upward about 2 days before the moon is full because we can feel it. We're sensitive and we can feel her coming, right? So you'll start feeling more sensitive around the 4th, 5th, and 6th is when it's going to be at a peak. You will probably not be able to sleep well on the 6th, the 7th, maybe even into the 8th. And around the 9th is when you'll start to feel a waning of that intensity. The moon will still have energy for you, but it'll be a waning of intensity. Yeah. So, right. Okay. So let me go back and finish because look, I can get thrown off here. Okay. Oh yeah, you all put your signs in. Hold on. Let me check this out. I see that Nina is a Libra. Larissa is a Scorpio. Aileen, of course, my Buddha is a Taurus with a Taurus sun with a Leo moon. Oh, that's interesting. Nina's a Libra. Shamika's a Libra. We got Libras here today representing with the full moon. Amber is a Pisces, super sensitive. Yes. Danica, am I saying your name right? I'm probably not saying it right. It's very pretty when it's in writing. Danica, beautiful. Danica is a Taurus. Monica, the moon is in Leo. Okay. Jackie, hey Jackie. Nina says April 5th or 6th, pink moon in Libra. Yes. I'm generally very unemotional. I'm already hyper emotional. Okay, so Monica, if you're already hyper emotional, we haven't even gotten to the moon yet. Very good. And of course, Monica is a Sagittarius. Yeah, well, be prepared. So I'm going to get into what we're doing with this full moon, and I'm going to get into the workbook. Oh, by the way, all right, so y'all, if you want the workbook, I need you to type into the comments workbook. And Rebecca, because there's so many of you on here, I think Rebecca, you'll be able to get them their workbooks easily. Just Rebecca's getting ready to, if you want a workbook, type the word workbook into the comments. Rebecca is going to DM you. She's going to send it to you through with a private message. She's going to DM it to you, and then you'll have the workbook. But don't worry, if you can't get it right now, you can request it and we'll send it to you later if you need it. But I'm going to actually share my screen and we'll get into the workbook. But first, let me finish telling you about the sun and the moon. But in the meantime, Rebecca can start getting you, hey, Serena, Rebecca can start getting you the workbooks while I'm talking about this. So I want to make sure that you all understand how the sun and the moon work together, right? So we have the sun that is slowly making its way through Aries, right? So it's going to take 30 days to get through Aries. Well, while the sun is over here in Aries, the moon is full over here in the opposite sign of Libra. So Libra is on one side and Aries is on the other. And as I've just told you, Aries is very much about being about who you are. It's your individualism, it's yourself, it is your mind, your thinking, your personality, your body. It's very much about you, okay? Now, when the full moon comes, comes full in the opposite sign. So the opposite of Aries is Libra. Well, Libra is about not just you, but about you and somebody else, okay? So Aries represents your outward masculine authority. It's masculine because it's outward, okay? So Aries represents I. Libra represents we. So Libra is very much about bringing you together with someone else in a partnership. Now, if you've ever had a Libra partner, Libra partners are very dedicated. They like to be connected, okay? They like to be in partnership, and they like it to be they like to know where they stand in their partnership, and it must be a partnership. It's like that if you have a Libra for a friend. Their friends are like partners. They don't necessarily bring their friends into that same realm of the partner. I'm not saying everybody's on the same level, but I'm saying that when you have a Libra that's a friend, that Libra is viewing you as someone who's a real connection. Okay, so right now we have this full moon that's rising in Libra, which means that there is an emphasis on our partnerships for healing. Now, this, as I said, it can be friends and it can be intimate partnerships. It can be romantic partnerships, your lover. It can also be business partnerships. But keep in mind that this energy right now is about the nature of relationships that are close to you. So even though your parental relationship does not fall under this, you might find some parental issues that are coming up as you watched your parents in partnership, or depending on the relationship that you have with your parents, there might be some areas in your life around your parents where you all acted as partners or co-creators, where there was more equal footing and not just about, I'm a parent, you're a child, I'm the leader, I'm going to guide you, right? So what we're looking for during this time is healing around marriage, intimacy, partnership, and close relationships, including business relationships, anywhere that you would call a partnership. Now, here's the thing that's going to be most important, particularly if you're single, you really need to look at this. But even if you're not single, everybody needs to look at this, okay? And that is the partnership between you and your higher self. Now, the seventh house, the house of Libra, is not about mysticism, okay? It's not about mysticism. However, your life is about partnership, and your life is about mysticism. And this is super important, because if you miss this healing opportunity, you'll be okay, all right? But if you know about this, you can throw this into the mix as you're doing your healing for this upcoming week. And the idea is that your ideal partner is yourself, okay? And while you're here on earth, you have your earthly self, which is living its life, doing its thing, thinking its thoughts, okay? And you, as you know, you're doing the earthly thing, you're dealing with earthly pleasures, but you're also dealing with earthly frequencies or limitations, okay? So the best way to overcome any earthly limitations or those lower frequencies is by partnering up with your higher self. So this is a great time for you to be thinking about your relationship with your husband, your partners, but also with your higher self, okay? Let me check in and see if there are any questions, and let me see how you all are doing here. All right, yeah, there's a lot of activity. Y'all are keeping Rebecca busy today. Danica, thank you. Look, you show me a phonetics, something phonetically, I'm gonna figure that out. Yes, Danica, everyone says like you, but it's okay, thank you. But now I see Danica, thank you. All right, and everybody's getting their workbooks. Very good. Awesome. Very good. Very good. All right, and Lori's here. Hey, Lori, good to see you again. Oh, you've graced me with twice in a week. Oh my God, Lori. Very good, darling. So another thing that I want you all to consider about Libra, while we're dealing with this full moon, and now I'm going to talk about Libra people, but these issues still apply to us all, particularly right now while we're dealing with this full moon that's coming around into Libra. So Libra is ruled by Venus, okay? And Mars rules Aries. So kind of keep that in mind when we talk about partnership. We think about Mars as the warrior, and we think about Venus as the lover. And the two, when they come together, actually come together in a very beautiful and harmonious and very sexy, powerful, vibrant, energetically sexual way, okay? Which is fun and great and wonderful, okay? So what I want to say is that while there's this full moon in Libra, there's also a terrific opportunity for you to do some healing around your sexuality and around your ability to receive pleasure. So one of the wonderful things about the sign of Libra is that it's a very sensual sign. It's Libra is a very beautiful sign, so we will probably all be seeming a little bit more beautiful in these coming days. It's an alluring sign, so we'll also have our alluring, our alluringness, whatever. We're going to be more alluring. That will be heightened, okay? So more will be more sensual, or will be more alluring. Will be also, we're ruled by Venus right now. This sign of Libra is ruled by Venus, and our moon, our emotional compass, is moving into that sign. So there's also a lot of tenderness and nurturing and feminine charms. The feminine charms are going to be very strong. Now, if you have a problem with that, if you would like to strengthen your feminine charms, this is a great time to do healing around that so that you can strengthen those. If you want to heal your sexuality, this is a great time to work on healing your sexuality. And if you want to deepen that relationship with the feminine sensuality, this is a wonderful time to do that as well. All right. So partnership, sexuality, intimacy, romance, this is all a wonderful time to heal those things, particularly, sex, our healing ourselves sexually is quite vast, right? And there are many different ways to heal it. And even the same thing with pleasure. Like we could really do a lot of healing around pleasure and sexuality and romance when the sun or the moon is in Leo, okay? However, with this movement into Libra, the emphasis is going to be kind of more on that connected, enduring partnership sexuality. So if things have gotten stale in your relationship, if you're having trouble connecting to your partner, this is a great time to work on things like that. If your maybe sensuality toward your partner has waned, for those of you who are in a longer term relationship, this is a great time to kind of get those fires going again. All right. Did Apollo just wake up? Did he go back to sleep as he should? Oh my God. Aileen says, I'm screwed. Oh, that's funny, girl. Yeah, I got work to do. I'm already sitting there thinking, okay, when I get in bed tonight, I know exactly what I'm going to be working on. So let me tuck into the workbook for today. Let's see. Rebecca already sent me it. And did I open it? I did, but I think I might have closed it. Hold on. Here we go. So I'm going to share the workbook. Here we go. All righty. And let me actually pull this out. And now I shall share screen. Boom. Share. Okay, here we go. All right. So you all should be able to see my workbook. Okay. So here's our full moon healing. So we heal with the full moon and we manifest with the new moon. Also, there's our Badass Butterfly Manifesto. Okay. So you all, I don't know how you all feel about essential oils, but I live by them. Essential oils, I take them internally. I use them in my hair. I use them on my skin. I use them for everything. I clean with them, love essential oils. And this was the very first time that I've had this bottle of juniper oil for a couple of years now. And I finally broke it out because it is a good, it's a great oil to use during this full moon in Libra. So as it says here, Libra here we go. Libra often deals with kidney issues and lower back pain. Now, interestingly, the kidneys, when you have issues with your kidneys, that is usually a sign of fear. All right. So if you're having some trouble with fear and if you're having trouble with your kidneys, you might want to do a little exploration around fear. But you can also use a little, you can make yourself a little poultice and add a little juniper to it to help pull out any energetic toxins or impurities. And also, look, it says here that you can use juniper to detoxify the urinary and sexual organs. You'd probably want to do that with a steam bath. And we have a steam expert in our group. Her name is Janine. And I think you can find her at Janine P, Janine, Janine P Steams, okay? And if you're interested in doing some work around your root chakra, your sexual chakras, your womb space, I definitely recommend that you reach out to Janine, and she can help you do a vaginal steam bath using herbs and essential oils and things that will help open this up and help bring balance to your yoni. All right. 3 cheers for the yoni here. All right. So I've got juniper in my essential oil burner, my diffuser. I put it with lemongrass, sandalwood, ginger, and this juniper, and it smells amazing. My energy is quite high today too, so that's probably why. So there you go. Your gemstone for Libra is peridot, and peridot is really, really, really good for attracting higher income, right? Which also is ruled by Venus. And Libra is quite good at manifesting excellent income. If you're a Libra and you have not tapped into that aspect of yourself, I suggest you get yourself some peridot and work on that, because that is a gift. All right. So the way this is going to work today, y'all, if you're new here, you won't know this, but I do not actually take you through the moon ritual myself today. What I do today and what I do every other Friday is I inform you about the moon that is coming. All right. So before the full moon, before the new moon, I hop in here, I talk to you about what the energies are, and so that you can be prepared before the moon actually arrives. Okay. So this is like giving you a little heads up. All right. So you can mark your calendars every other Friday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm live right here in the group doing what we're doing right now. Now, you've got access to the moon ritual itself here, and you can take yourself through it when you're ready. You know that it's on April 6th, okay? So whenever your schedule allows, you can take yourself through this ritual. Now, there is a download that you can receive where I have read the ritual for you, okay? If you want that, you can have it for free, no problem. Just go ahead and download it and it will show up in your email. Now, that makes me laugh a little bit just because I'm kind of like, you got to listen to me do your moon ritual. Although I mixed it and I tried to be all calm with my voice. I was there and mellow, and I'm talking to you and taking you on the journey. But I did put some music with it, so maybe it's sweet. You might enjoy it. Anyway, so here's the ritual itself, okay? Now, before you get into the ritual, which is another reason why I start this a few days before, is because I've created for you a worksheet that is based on this particular moon transit. So this is the full moon in Libra. So what I have is a worksheet that's based on the full moon in Libra. Okay, so there's a little write-up about what Libra means, and then there's the worksheet itself. So I have some keywords here for you for the sign of Libra. So as you are working through through this workbook and you're dealing with the moon over the next week, these are the things that are going to be coming up for you. All right, these are things that you can be looking at and exploring and healing. Now, the worksheet's basically a bunch of questions that are meant to help you bring up these issues around this particular moon, this case in Libra. So there are a bunch of questions, and there's a space here for you to write your answers. If you answer these questions and then you just even sit with the moon, even if you don't do the full ritual, you will have aligned yourself with the constellation of Libra. You will have aligned yourself with this full moon, and the universe will work on your behalf to clear out what needs to be cleared, to heal what needs to be healed. Okay, so this is a very powerful process. I definitely recommend you join me here every 2 weeks. On Friday, we do this. Get your workbook, do the work, and do the moon ritual if you can. If you don't, at least do the workbook. Okay, so I'm going to just very quickly run through the questions. And if you all have any questions about the questions, type your questions into the Facebook comments, and I'll make sure that I clarify anything that needs to be clarified. Okay, and let me actually move this over and find y'all just in case y'all have any questions. Nina says, I did my first workbook of yours 2 weeks ago. It was wonderful. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I'm so glad. Thank you, Nina. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Carla is here. Hey, Carla. Shamika says, lavender is my favorite. Yeah, lavender is really good. Yes. I love lavender. But you know what I'm really loving? And it has not changed. It has not changed in years. I am still loving Bulgarian rose. That is my favorite all-time essential oil, and I like it mixed with clove. Oh my God. Anyway, getting back on track. Yes, here we go. Here we go, y'all. Getting back into the workbook. So, first question, use your logical thinking mind for a moment. How are your relationships? Do you notice any areas of contention, any friction? You know, is there any problem going on with communication? Okay, so this is a time for you to just kind of unload and say what's bugging you, say what's on your mind, what's in your heart, anything that you want to improve. Okay, you're going to write that in that space. The next question, where do you need to improve your approach in your relationships of choice? Okay, so keep in mind that the moon is about healing yourself, and this is not a time to be pointing your finger at your partner, okay? Because you heal your relationship by starting with yourself, not by fixing the other guy, all right? So start with yourself, okay? So we have the sun in Aries, all right, which is going to make you, that's going to give you courage, all right? But take a look at yourself and see where maybe you have some work that you need to do on yourself in your relationships, okay? Number 3, what does partnership even mean to you, okay? And look at what your personal needs are that might be driving this definition. By the way, y'all, just a little side note, when you get this workbook, you need to download it. Don't write in the workbook while it's in the browser. So right now you see my workbook, it's in the browser, right? You can see that it's here. If you start typing in this and then you close it, you will lose what you've typed. Whereas if you download the workbook and you save it, I don't know if you can see that saving. Once you download it and you save it and you open it in your computer, not in your browser, but you open it on your desktop, then you've saved it. All right, so just a little heads up there, little technology stuff to keep in mind. All right. All right, question number 4, in what ways does your partner mirror, or do, in what ways do your partners mirror you? This is, again, understanding that people are doing stuff and they're reflecting something about us back to ourselves, okay? So make a list and try to be unbiased. Don't be biased, okay? Try to see yourself in your partners and be objectives. And remember, it's not all about just the bad stuff, it's also the good stuff. If you look in your partner's eyes and you see love, that's a reflection of you as well. If you look in your partner's eyes and you see betrayal, that's a projection of you as well, okay? So this is tough. Do your best, all right? And it says here, there's a key, whatever bugs you about your partner is your own shadow, and that's a reflection of you. So I'm telling you, this stuff is tough. This is why that we need the full moon to come so that we can do this hard work, because we may not be doing this hard work at any other time of the year, okay? All right, question number 5. When you look at your partnerships, where do you notice imbalances, right? Now, Libra is also the sign of the balance, right? The scales. Our Nina in the chat, she keeps putting in the little scales, right? Which represent Libra, right? Finding balance. And Libras are really good about finding balance because they are peacemakers. They're trying to create harmony wherever they have connection, right? So they're trying to create harmony. So sometimes though, Libras can go out of balance in order to find the balance. And that's actually true of all people, isn't it? We might have to go out of balance. We might have to go to an extreme so that we can say, oh, that's an extreme. Let me back that off a little bit. Then we might find ourselves tipping to the other side. And then we're like, oh, let me back that off a little bit. Okay, here's the happy, here's the happy medium, right? So looking for imbalances is going to be really important for me right now. You know, a lot of you all being empathic and being sensitive and being feminine, you all are probably doing a lot of giving. I know that some of you all are on here with me. Y'all give probably too much. Well, that is an imbalance, okay? And when this full moon is in Libra, this is an opportunity for you to find balance with even your giving, okay? And if you're like me, okay, you're really into receiving, okay? It's just you and your dog and you're just doing everything for yourself. Like you're just totally into getting your own self and your own needs satisfied. People like me, we probably need to look into how we can give a little bit more to people, excuse me, and make sure around us are getting their needs met. Not everybody's an only child and with a dog. Very good. Number 6, what is your relationship with beauty? Remember that Libra is ruled by Venus. She is the goddess of love and the goddess of beauty. And this question is asking you like how you are caring for yourself. And is there anything you want to heal in your appearance? We've got that sun in Aries, which is ruling our body and how we show up, what we look like. But we also have this beautiful opportunity with the full moon in Venus to work on things that maybe need healing, you know, like if you have a relationship that's bad with an aspect of the way you look, this is a great time to work on healing that, to look at it. You know, like me when I was a kid, I was never allowed to kind of feel like I was a pretty girl, and I really wanted to be a pretty girl, you know. But that was never given to me. I was never told I was pretty. As a matter of fact, I was told that I was always ugly. So my inner child really likes that validation of number one, having her pain experienced and being witnessed and being validated, but also She likes to be told she's pretty. So this is a great time to tell your inner child, hey, you're a pretty girl, right? She needs that. She deserves to have what she needs. You give it to her, right? So doing this kind of healing work is great at this time, okay? Healing your relationship with beauty, all right? Number 7, how's your money flowing these days, okay? Because Venus rules Libra, and Venus is the goddess of beauty, love, sexuality, and profit, wealth, okay? So this is a great time to look at any shadow energy you have around making money and having enough and being able to generate the income that you desire, all right? This is wealth and being able to create that for yourself, right? So this question is getting into looking at that as an opportunity to heal. Question number 8, do an honest assessment of the obstacles and challenges in your life. In what ways are you repeatedly challenged in the same ways, like Groundhog Day, huh? What are some of the challenges that keep coming up for you over and over again? Where are you not able to break the patterns of obstacles and challenges that you face in your life? So this is just a great opportunity to kind of look back at what we're saying, what we've said, and to kind of say, well, this is something that's been going on for years. I've not done anything about it. Calling yourself out on it, noticing the patterns, and then doing something with the patterns. Question 9, where do you stand with the law? Okay, so this is interesting because Libra is about balance and it's also about justice and it's about fairness. So issues of fairness or unfairness or partiality or impartiality can be very active in you, and they can be a point or an area of contention. So this is a great opportunity for you to work on that, to look at places or areas where you have felt unfairly treated. And, you know, even in your partnership or in your relationship, if your partner isn't treating you fairly, if those imbalances are there, but they're not being addressed, you're trying to work on it, but your partner isn't meeting you, this is the kind of thing that you can heal. Also, just straight up law. Right now, if there's a place where you've got an issue with a lawsuit or thing, you want a hearing or a judgment to go in your favor, doing healing work around that during this full moon is also really going to be important. All right. We've got a funny numbering system going on here, Rebecca. We could maybe fix that in the future when we get ready to do this. Fix this in Canva. We go from number 9 to number 20. This should be a 10, that's all. So if you can fix that, darling, that would be great. What are some of the emotions you're experiencing right now? And this is just an inventory of your emotions, checking in with yourself. We've got a full moon. You should be feeling all sorts of crazy feels right now. All right. Write them down and allow yourself to experience your emotions. Number 11, what are some of the negative beliefs you hold around your enemies and the people who don't like you? How do you feel about these people and these situations? Okay. And this is, this is a great opportunity to, this is a great opportunity for you to kind of dig into, you know, we've been talking about relationships and we've been talking about close, intimate relationships, and we've been talking about friendships as well. Okay, so partnerships and friendships. But those people who are outside that we are having judgments about, right? So this is another part of the Libra energy of what wants to be healed. This is a great time because Libra is a peacemaker. This is just a really good opportunity to bless your to bless your enemies, okay? So looking at yourself, looking at any negative beliefs that you're holding on to, anything you're worried about around enemies, frenemies, people who don't like you, this is a great opportunity for you to do that internal work. And I chose, looking at your beliefs, that you could do anything, it could just be your thought patterns. It could be just opening up, looking at what happened between you all that made you enemies. Okay, doing that with this full moon can also be very, very beneficial. All right, that's question 11. Question 12, and I think this should be the end. Yeah, we have just 13 questions. So question 12 is, what's your relationship with perfectionism? Is it an issue for you? Now, this is a question that I threw in because Libras can have issues with perfectionism. So this is a great time if you are someone who suffers from perfectionism. It's not just Libras, by the way. Capricorns, Libras, Geminis, Sagittarians tend to have issues, and Virgos as well. But really, it's the Capricorns, the Geminis, the Libras, and the Sagittarians that have big issues with perfectionism. So this is an opportunity to look at that, okay, to do a little work around that. Just as a side note, I had an issue with perfectionism, but I shifted. For me, it was easy because I wasn't a perfectionist like a Capricorn or a Gemini, a Libra, or a Sagittarius. I wasn't that type of perfectionist. They are hardcore. I was perfectionism light, okay? And so for me, it was just a mindset from I have to do this perfectly to I have to just do this with excellence. So that might be a little something that's helpful for you all as you're going through this as well, okay? So excellence as opposed to perfectionism. But anyway, write down your issues that you have or your relationship with perfectionism. And the last question is, how's your mind? Libra is an air sign ruled by the mind and thinking nature. And we just want to take this opportunity to do any healing that we can around your mind, around your thinking process. And just as it says, scan your mind, notice the quality of your thoughts and anything that might be hiding from you. All right. Now, when you all are done answering these questions, then you should go ahead and do the full moon process. So you all can start doing these questions today, tomorrow. The full moon rises on the 6th. So you would want to be doing your ritual around the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, or the 8th. Those would be the ideal days to do it, okay? The closer you can get to the 6th, the better. But, schedule blah, 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 all right? But anyway, once you get ready to do your ritual, this is the full moon meditation and connection process. So the steps are written out for you to get yourself prepared. Everything is written out very, very nicely for you. Once you've gone, once you've gone through this ritual, there is, believe it or not, a second workbook, okay? It's another section of the workbook, okay? It's all contained in the same workbook, but there's another section where you debrief from the moon ritual that you did, okay? Because you all know, you do these moon rituals and you feel something while you're in it. So the first set of questions I took you through, that was to get you prepared for the moon so that you're in tune with the energy. And when you go in to do the ritual, the work has already been done. You're just integrating the energy. This second workbook is after that. And look, you don't have to do this, but it's there for you as an option. And I'm not going to go through the questions. These questions don't change from session to session. It's basically, how did you do with the ritual? What shadows came up for you? There are some exercises in here to help you deal with any shadows that came up, any fear, any sadness, any issues that came up. Write it down. and deal with it. Okay, write it down and deal with it. But that's basically what you have to do. Okay, so look, if you all need help with any of this, this is my job. I'm a certified spiritual life coach, and this is what I do. All right. If you need help with the healing aspects, you can come to me. Now, as always, you all know also that I am a business mentor, and I help women like you get certified as badass butterfly spiritual life coaches. So if that is interesting to you, then you need to book a strategy session. So Rebecca, can you put the link so that our ladies can book a strategy session with me? Now, look, ladies, I'm talking to you, and I want to talk to you if you are ready to become a certified spiritual life coach. You have made the decision that this is what you want to do, and you have made the decision that you want to have a successful business that is set up with all the right pieces in place, okay? Because I am not the coach who's going to just do woo-woo with you. If you work with me, I'm going to do woo-woo and we're going to build your business. So I'm going to help you develop your spiritual gifts, but I'm also going to help you develop your entire business. If that is interesting to you, then book yourself in for a strategy call and let's talk about how I can help you. All right. So that is our ritual for this week. And I will be back this coming Tuesday for our regular weekly live stream. And by the way, Spiritual Life Coach Startup Bootcamp starts April 16th. You need to sign up for that now if you want to participate so that you can start getting prepared for that. All right. We'll start talking more about that next week. But in the meantime, just to let you know that that's what's going on. Shamika, I'm glad you're interested. Go ahead and book yourself in for a strategy call, and then we can talk, okay? All right, everybody, I'm signing off. I'll see y'all later. Bye for now, everyone. Have a good weekend. Happy full moon. Bye, everybody.